Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to do a little video on binding, and specifically we are going to be binding a couple of necks. I say a couple, but I'm actually going to break this video down into two videos, I think, because, well, I can do whatever I want. So the first neck that we're going to do is this Challenger neck here, and as you can see, it already has frets. The reason it already has frets and we're going to bind it post-fretting is we are going to do that cool Gibson trick where the binding rides up over the fret, and so the binding actually becomes the fret end, like you see on Les Paul standards or SG standards or customs or something like that, where it has neck binding, and so that's cool. But the first one we're gonna work on is this neck that has already been fretted, and like I said, it's gonna have little Gibson bumpy things. I realize that the neck's already fretted, and it's already been the binding slot has already been ground into the ebony. You know, guys, we've done a bunch of videos on this stuff already, so I didn't think I was gonna bore you with here's me cutting a binding slot. It's a bearing bit in a router and pressing in frets. Well, that's pretty straightforward until you get to the part that we're going to do next. Because this neck is, I don't do a lot of these, so it's not a great big deal to take a file here like this one. This is mighty little. This is a file that no one is to touch but me, because I need to know where it is at all times. So we're going to actually just file the edge of the fret ends with the fretboard installed on the neck. If you were doing a bunch of these, it would be 100 million times easier to cut the fretboard to size, fret it before you glue it to the neck, and then take it over to the edge sander and clean up everything. It would be 1,000,000 times faster. And then you could probably come up with a jig of some kind to you know, attach this to your neck blank. When we were doing a lot of Gibson style or Les Paul style guitars, we did a lot of fretting and binding like that, and but we just don't do it very much anymore, so I figured, oh, to hell with it. I'm not going to drag out all the old jigs and stuff. So anyway, so let's get started. Okay, so as we've already discussed, the binding channel has already been cut, and the we are going to be using this 60 thousandths binding, and it's going to just go right on the side. We're going to get to all that stuff. The frets have already been pressed in, and I have wicked some glue right there. You can see some evidence of some CA glue that I wicked under the frets. People ask me all the time, do you ever use glue with when you're putting frets in? And we do a lot. In this case, it's particularly easy because there's, you know, you just hold it on the side and just drop some drops of CA glue in there, and it sucks right in through the channel and locks everything down, and it's nice. But what we have to do now is we have to clean up the edge, because the nippers only get, you know what I mean, you only get so tight to the board, and then it's going to take a little bit of filing, and that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so that actually was pretty fast and pretty easy. It's not something I'd want to do all day, every day, but then again, neither is this kind of binding that we're going to do. But it looks cool, and the guy who I'm doing this for is a dyed-in-the-wool Gibson dude, so he likes that kind of stuff, even though he's going to be playing a Texas Toast guitar. By the way, if you have any machinist friends and you want to make them really, really angry, do like this with your file, and they'll go, hey, file only cuts one way. And while that's accurate, it's sometimes fun to, you know, give machinists a hard time. So, all right, so I'm just gonna make sure that both sides of this look good, and then we can attach our binding. All right, if you've ever watched any of my previous videos on how to do this, this is just regular acetone in a syringe. And all we're going to do is we're just going to flow the acetone in between the binding and the fretboard. And this way works really, really good. All right, that's it. So in a few minutes, maybe more like a half hour, probably isn't the worst idea to let this kind of set up. We're going to pull the clamps and pull the tape. We're going to inspect everything and make sure it looks cool. And then we will grind off all this extra binding here. And I'm going to show you how to do that next. Okay, everybody, it's been about an hour, and it's probably time to go ahead and pull the clamping cawls off of the neck and have a look at our binding. One thing that I was able to do, since there was a bunch of acetone on the fretboard, was wipe off any excess super glue that was on the board from flooding it into the fret slots after it got fretted. Let's go ahead and have a look at the binding and clean up any areas we need to clean up. Well, I already did one, and it's a lot of work. So what I used was the nippers and the mighty little file, and it worked okay. I hear that Gibson uses a great big hot knife to, well, not a hot knife, but actually a hot wire like you might find in your toaster, and they run it along the fretboard, and it bounces up over the frets, and that's how they do it super fast, because they make a lot of these. But I don't have a hot toaster wire, but I do have a router table. Let's see if we can speed it up that way. It actually does a little something, but not so much that it's going to completely eliminate filing. So you know what I think I'm going to do, since I'm only doing one, I'll just go ahead and chip all this stuff away with some nippers and file it down flat. And if I just, get really good at it like I am, and I make it look easy, because it is, it'll actually go pretty quick. We're only doing one, so there's really no point in trying to add power to this equation. If we had the board off of the neck, it would probably be a little easier. We could really get in there, and but we don't. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this the old-fashioned way, unless I can find a little toaster wire that I can do this with. I don't even know if that's a real thing. I don't know if Gibson actually does that, but I've heard that they do. All right, I'm going to start working on this. voila. Actually looks pretty damn decent. So as you can see, our frets now are all done, and they have little binding nubs over each fret, and it looks pretty good. Now remember, there's a lot of cleaning up that still has to get done on this neck. The frets need to be leveled, they need to be dressed, the fretboard needs to be cleaned, but we're in a really good spot. So it's time for Velvet Jeff to come over, and we're gonna shape his neck later today. And he is probably going to be here any second now. So what I got to do next is I got to fit the headstock, get the headstock all thicknessed, and then Jeff will show up and we're going to shape the neck while he's hanging around here, because we're a custom guitar place. We shape every single neck one at a time, so you can get your neck done however you want. If you guys like this video, please give us the thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and click the little bell icon-y thing that I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's somewhere. If you appreciate content like this, you might want to go check out our Patreon page and consider becoming a member. Even $1 a month goes a long way to helping us bring you guys cool stuff like this. You know, editing videos takes a lot of time. And there's a lot of perks on Patreon, you know, t-shirts for something, exclusive Patreon videos, shit like that. So check us out on Patreon and see what you think. Let's see. If you have any questions about what we did in this video, please leave them in the comment section below. And as always, this is Matt from Texas Toast reminding you that if you're so smart, build it yourself. That's what I do. Thanks for watching, everybody.